What if I told you that one man was the key to starting the Star Wars saga and being the key player in ending the reign of the Emperor himself? What if I told you that this particular person was arguably the most important person in Star Wars?
Go on.
I am not talking about Luke. I am not talking about Anakin. I am definitely not talking about Rey. I am talking about Jar Jar. I'm just kidding. I'm talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hello there.
The Jedi unsung hero who ignited the galaxy's greatest conflict and then single-handedly unraveled Darth Sidious's plans.
No.
Today we are diving into Obi-Wan Kenobi starting Star Wars, saving Star Wars, and how he became Palpatine's worst nightmare. Let's break it all down, but before we do, welcome back to the Star Wars Closet, where we dive deep into a galaxy far, far away. And a reminder, this is historical context because this happened a very long time ago. Make sure you hit subscribe, hit the bell. We have a lot to jump into. I don't want to waste any more of your time. So let's talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hello there.
I want to talk about something really funny about this particular video that we're doing here. I was really just working on a video about Obi-Wan Kenobi being my favorite Star Wars character and why. And along the way, I started thinking and reflecting about the fact that Obi-Wan Kenobi really is the unsung hero in more ways than one. Yes, we know him as the Jedi Master over Anakin. We know him as Ben Kenobi, who trained Luke, or at least got his training started. But when you really break down the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi and what happened throughout the entire saga, there is way more than meets the eye. That is what I want to focus on today. Starting Star Wars and thwarting Sidious from the jump. It all begins in The Phantom Menace. Obi-Wan Kenobi, a young Jedi, faces Darth Maul, Sidious's first apprentice.
This is my apprentice, Darth Maul.
The Sith want to destabilize the Republic, and Maul is their weapon. But Obi-Wan, he slices Maul in half. As a Padawan, this figuratively cuts Palpatine's plans in two. Sidious's plan A is now dead on Naboo. Until he's not.
I have been waiting for you. You left me for dead on Naboo.
This forces Palpatine to scramble, picking Count Dooku as a backup. Obi-Wan's first strike sets the Sith back for years. Now, as far as Count Dooku being the plan B for Sidious's plans, there's a lot that we could go into there. It may not be that black and white. In fact, we know that it's probably not. However, in this context, Maul was definitely plan A, but plan A did not work out because of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Fast forward to Revenge of the Sith. Sidious is relying on General Grievous to crush the Jedi and win the Clone Wars.
You fool!
Enter Obi-Wan Kenobi. On Utapau, he takes down Grievous with a blaster and a smirk.
So uncivilized.
The Separatists collapse, and Sidious has to rush his endgame.
Only through me can you achieve a power greater than any Jedi.
You're the Sith Lord.
In the name of the Galactic Senate of the Republic, you're under arrest, Chancellor.
It's treason, then.
I pledge myself to your teachings.
You shall be known as Darth Vader.
Obi-Wan's not just starting the war here, he's already chipping away at the Emperor's chessboard. At this point, if you're looking at Obi-Wan's wall of bad guys he has taken out, he took out Darth Maul, the first Sith to be killed by a Jedi in 1,000 years. And he did it as a Padawan. Fast forward a couple years and he takes out General Grievous, who was slaughtering Jedi and the like all the time. He was known as the negotiator, he was a great Jedi master, he was on the council. He has an incredible resume just up to this point. Then comes Order 66.
Execute Order 66.
Sidious thinks he has wiped out the Jedi in one stroke. But Obi-Wan survives, riding off into the sunset while the galaxy burns. His survival isn't just luck though, it's defiance. The Jedi aren't gone because Obi-Wan is still out there keeping hope alive. He's not just keeping hope alive for the Jedi. We know that more and more Jedi have survived than we ever thought there were. Not something I particularly am into, but the fact that there are only a few scattered amongst the galaxy is pretty crazy at this point. And Obi-Wan being one of them by taking an indirect shot from a blaster cannon, falling hundreds and hundreds of feet into water, still surviving, then fighting Anakin on Mustafar, still surviving, then going into hiding, and then we saw in the Obi-Wan show, he still survived. Obi-Wan's survival is a direct defiance against all of the Emperor's plans. And when he's keeping hope alive, I mean he's keeping hope alive. But before we get there, we have to get to this part. This is the big one, Mustafar. Obi-Wan faces his fallen brother Anakin, now Darth Vader. Sidious dreams of an unstoppable Sith Lord, the Chosen One, at full power. But Obi-Wan, he leaves Vader a broken, burned wreck.
You were the Chosen One!
Vader is still terrifying, but he is a shadow of what he could have been. Sidious's perfect apprentice, ruined. Obi-Wan started the Skywalker saga here and crippled the Sith's future just by taking the high ground.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
Think about the Emperor's perspective at this point on Obi-Wan. He is taking out everyone that is thrown at him. The only one that Obi-Wan did not defeat directly was Count Dooku. However, the one that he trained in Anakin took off both of his hands and
Wham! His kappa is detated from his head.
But then not only that, the apprentice of Sidious at this point becomes Anakin Skywalker, who is Vader at full power almost, and Obi-Wan still takes him out and leaves him a beaten mess on the side of a volcano. At this point, the Emperor should have nothing but a vendetta out against Obi-Wan, and that is it. If he takes out Obi-Wan, so much of this changes. If Obi-Wan dies at any one of these moments, if he's defeated just one time by any one of these guys, this whole story changes. So Obi-Wan's kicked off the Star Wars story. Anakin's fall and the Empire's rise. Here's where he flips the script and saves the galaxy. For 19 years, Obi-Wan hides on Tatooine, protecting Luke Skywalker, Anakin's son, the galaxy's last hope. Sidious's hunters never find him. Then, in A New Hope, Obi-Wan gives Luke his father's lightsaber.
As clumsy or random as a blaster.
Teaches him the Force and sends him into the rebellion. That choice?
Use the Force, Luke.
It leads straight to the Death Star exploding, along with Grand Moff Tarkin, Sidious's right-hand man. Obi-Wan's training launches Luke into the fight that cracks the Empire's armor. But before the Death Star is even destroyed, you have this pivotal moment where Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi meet again. Obi-Wan is not done. He faces Vader again and sacrifices himself.
You can't win, Darth. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
And he does. As a Force ghost, he guides Luke, haunts Vader, and keeps the rebellion alive. Sidious thought he'd won by killing Obi-Wan. Instead, Obi-Wan leveled up. And it all pays off in Return of the Jedi. Luke becomes a Jedi Knight because of Obi-Wan's influence. That faith in the Force and in his father turns Vader back to the light. Anakin kills Sidious, ending the Sith forever. Kind of.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Obi-Wan didn't just start Star Wars with Anakin's fall, he saved it by setting up Anakin's redemption. Every move he made tore Sidious's plans to shreds. Obi-Wan Kenobi is the spark that lights the Star Wars fire, but he's also the savior who outsmarts Sidious at every turn. Finding Anakin, training him, surviving the darkness, defeating Maul, Grievous, and Vader, protecting Luke, and guiding the galaxy to victory.
Use the Force, Luke.
You will go to the Dagobah system. There you will learn from Yoda.
I can't do it, Ben.
You must face Darth Vader again.
Palpatine may have been the puppet master, but it was Obi-Wan Kenobi pulling the strings of fate. And yes, there are a lot of semantics here on, is it Obi-Wan's fault that all of this happened? You can argue absolutely. That's why at the beginning it's called the Duel of the Fates. If it's going to be Qui-Gon that trains Anakin, does he go to the light side the entire time? What if both of them have survived and Darth Maul fell? We don't know what would have happened. We just know that either way, he was going to be trained by Qui-Gon or Obi-Wan, and this is what happened. Obi-Wan made mistakes along the way in training Anakin, and yes, that led to a lot of what Anakin became.
I am what you made me.
However, he started Star Wars, like I said, good, bad, or indifferent, and he saved it. So what do you think? Did Obi-Wan deserve more credit than what he's getting? Do you think I absolutely overthought this, or do you think I'm underthinking it? Either way, let me know in the comments below, and make sure you like and subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss more Star Wars Closet content just like this. And let me leave you all with another question. Why do Star Wars fans not get along? I love you all. We'll see you in the next one.